Hey guys, this is Self-Coding Lab, and in today's video, I'll be doing a short video on why you might want to try out Tailwind CSS. So Tailwind CSS is basically somewhat similar to Bootstrap, where it is a CSS framework, and it provides you ability for rapid prototyping. And those of you, me included, that don't enjoy writing customized CSS codes, this is an easier way to deal with that. So let's actually refresh the page of tailwindcss.com and go to the bottom. This is basically a hot reload of how these class changes would impact the element in the HTML element. And as we can see, with the very few lines of code or very few lines of text within the class, you're able to make pretty dramatic changes, such as media queries, as you saw just now, MD, which means medium screen width. We're using a flex display, and it also has a background gray of 100, rounded edges of extra large, padding of 8, and when it's medium screen, it will have a padding of 0. So let's actually look and see how we could install this into our React app. So I am currently using a Create React app third-party library. I think it's the simplest way to get your React app up and running, so we'll be using this in this video as well. So let's just follow this and do the same thing in our command line. So initially we want to just go into our terminal and create a React app if you haven't already, and go into that directory. We will just basically copy and paste this whole line of code into our React app directory. And we're also going to have to install Graco in order to update how we want to serve and build our React app. Alright, once you have installed this line of code along with npm installed at graco/graco, let's actually take a look at our package.json. Alright, so within the package.json, we would have to update all these scripts. We could just copy and paste it like so. And for this example, all we are really going to be using is npm run start anyways. So once we have that running, or once we have that saved, we want to create a file called graco.config.js, and let's just copy all this and paste it. And now we are going to create our Tailwind config file, so let's go ahead and do that as well. Instead of trying to create a file here, let's actually follow the command line and do tailwind css.init. This will create a minimal Tailwind config, as it says right below here. Also, if you want to configure your config in order to purge CSS, which is more used towards production, if you want to minimize CSS files, and if you want to like have a smaller file and make it and keep it cleaner and more consistent throughout, adding in a purge is also nice and useful. But in our use case, we will just skip that for now. And in here, all we need to do at this point is create a index.css file and import all our Tailwind related CSS. And this is basically all you will need to do. Let's actually import our CSS file. Where is it? Index.css. Yeah, this is in this directory. Let's save. Let's actually restart the app. I'm not sure if that is required or not, but let's try that as well. Oh yes, it is required because we have updated our npm, our package.json to use Graco. So it says here, CSS loader, post CSS, index.css. Let's see what we did wrong. Guys, I was able to find the issue. Basically what my issue was that flat maps was introduced in Node.js version 11, but my Node.js version was in version 10.13. So all I had to do was update my Node.js version, and let's try it out once more. So as we could see here, it worked. We could tell that it worked because it normalized our CSS, because it removed the default padding. I'm not sure if it's a padding or the margin, I can't quite remember, but it removed the default padding and the margin that comes with when you initially create a HTML page. And as you can see, the app, the font has changed as well. So in order to show you guys a quick example of how you might be able to use this, I'm going to create a simple navbar. So let's do this. I will add in a class name. So I'm going to give the navbar a flex and justify between, which is basically align items and justify between, or space between. I am quite used to using Tailwind, so I actually sometimes forget the name of the CSS classes themselves. So we have app here. We'll just call it app title, and we'll have a few things in here. Right side. So as we could see, a simple flex and justify between, and we're able to use the flex display and align items with space in between. So if we're to do something like this, we could make this also a flex, justify between. We will have to still set our max width. Let's do maybe like 200 pixels for now, since this is just an example. And we could do login. Let's actually add in and register. So we could just add in some padding here. So in order to add in some padding, we do P. If you want to add in padding overall, you could do P dash whatever the number. You should be able to take a look at its Tailwind CSS documentation, but since here I want padding right, I'm going to do PR, and I'm going to try 4 and see how it looks. Let's try 6. Here we could also add in a PY, which is padding vertical of 4, and we could give it this, and we could do background of gray. We'll do gray 100. It's gray with the A. Yep, it is gray with the A. So as we can see, it's quite simple. I didn't have to write any extras customized CSS in order to do this. It's a very easy to write prototyping CSS, and if you guys don't personally want to write any customized CSS, this is quite a nice option, and I've been using it and enjoying it quite a lot. So please test it out and see how you guys like it. That'll be it for this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I'm not too sure what video I want to do next, but if you guys do have any ideas on it, please let me know. This is Self Coding Lab, and thank you.